If you work in the legal sector, maybe you're a law firm owner, maybe you're a marketing director in a legal firm, whatever it might be, this is definitely the episode for you. If you're not, stick around because, as always, I go through lots of different tips and tricks when it comes to podcasting, LinkedIn, digital marketing, and so forth. So thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate you being here. And as always, there is no script, there's no chat GPT involved. This is just me walking on a summer's day, giving you some of my thoughts and ideas and inspirations, so I hope you enjoy.
Working with Mike on this project has been absolutely brilliant. What Mike did is that he took a look at our website, he took a look at our business, and he took a look at us. And he instantly saw a way of using the resources we already had, in our case there were fact sheets on our website, and suggested turning these into short audio podcasts that would lead the clients back to us. Now, I've used lead generators in the past. We're constantly being bombarded with people who are promising the world in terms of lead generation, but this is something that's authentic, something that's us, and it was an absolute pleasure to work with Mike on it. He quickly got the information he needed. In my case, it was a series of voice notes on fact sheets that were on our website, turned these into amazing audio podcasts, and it was all done within timescale and within budget. So I'd recommend Mike to anyone. It's just worth a chat. You never know where it could go. Thanks, Mike.
So, podcasting in the legal sector. I speak to so many people in the legal sector on a regular basis. Usually it's to talk about their LinkedIn, their rehumanization ideas, digital marketing, etc. But the topic of podcasting does come around quite often. So the first question that I get asked is, why would I create a podcast? I'm a law firm owner, Mike. What could people possibly get from tuning in to any of our audio episodes? And the first thing that I say to them is, do you have a blog section on your website? And most of you will say yes. We do a monthly blog or even a weekly one, and we stick it in our newsletter, our email newsletter. Okay, so you've got some content straight away there. You've already done the hard work. So my answer to that would usually be, great, you've got your blog posts, you've got it in an email newsletter to your subscribers. Why don't you get somebody in your team or somebody external or even yourself and just have a casual conversation on your phone or in front of a microphone? Remember, we don't need expensive kit. I'm just walking through a park right now on my phone. That's how I'm recording this podcast. And take that blog content and just speak it. Why is it relevant for your law firm? You know, who is it helping? What type of content is this? And if people are actually listening to you, rather than just reading bland text in an email, they're getting to understand you. You know, remember, we're all about rehumanization here at Making Digital Real. So that's the first benefit right there. Take your existing email newsletter and turn it into something audio. That's number one. Number two, we can be so much more creative with audio content than we can be with emails. I'll give you an example. You will have worked with so many clients over the years, and there will be so many great stories to tell. And I imagine you've also collected reviews and testimonials over the years as well. What is to stop you going back to some of your greatest achievements with some of the clients you've worked with? And if they're happy to, get them to send you a voice message. Just saying, yeah, we worked with ABC Solicitors back in 2023. You know, we were going through a very tough situation. David, within the whatever team, he helped us do this, this and this, and we would absolutely recommend using them moving forwards. You know, maybe it's a conveyancing review. Perfect. The next time you've got an episode that's about conveyancing or property or whatever, we can stitch those voice messages from your happy clients into that episode. You know, sometimes I get asked, yeah, but I'm not on a WhatsApp style relationship with some of my clients. How would I get a voice message review? Simple. Use a platform called speakpipe.com. speakpipe.com. pipe.com. It's a 100% free platform to use, which allows you to create a page within seconds so that you can send it to anybody and they can just hit record on that website, record a voice message, and it gets delivered into your email inbox. So far we've got turning blog posts into an audio newsletter. We've got creating or accepting voice messages from happy clients so we can stitch them into episodes. The other thing is we're harnessing the power of some incredible platforms to get your content out there across the world. You know, this isn't just an email. This is a piece of content that is being distributed easily by Spotify, Apple, Amazon Music, YouTube Music. You know, you've got this great content right there where people can find you with a click of a button anywhere in the world. In my opinion, that is the easiest and cheapest way of global marketing. When it comes to globalization, using and harnessing the power of these apps is an incredible way to get found. And you do not need to be the ultimate content maker. You don't need to be thinking to yourself, viral content. It's nothing like that. All you need to do is create some great content. Even if you only get 10 listens in a month, one of those 10 listeners could be your ideal client, and they would not have found you if it hadn't have been for you putting out that content. It's quick to do, it's easy to do, and it will help you get found. What it also allows you to do is once you've created those episodes, you can use that in LinkedIn or social media. You've got a piece of content that you can share with the world. So not only are you relying on people to find you organically, which is great, but there's no harm in you sending that link of that episode out to the world on LinkedIn and targeting the right listeners because they might be experiencing that particular problem or issue. So we've got blog posts, stitching in messages, and I haven't even touched on the fact that we can do private podcasts. So far in this episode, I've been talking to you about the power of having a public, free podcast. I'll probably save this for another episode, but I'll just quickly also mention that law firm owners also have the ability to have a private podcast. A private podcast means that it's hidden from the world. You can't just find it on Spotify or Apple. You would need to be sent a link in order to listen to it on these platforms. So if you have a lead magnet at the moment on your website in order to collect names and email addresses, let's say it's a fact sheet or a PDF download, why don't you give your audience something better, something more interactive, something a little bit better than just a PDF? Give them a 3-part private podcast series, or a 5-part, or 10-part, whatever it might be. But take your listeners on a journey from A to Z. Maybe there's a particular problem you want to help them solve. If you can do that in a couple of episodes or 3 episodes, just like I did with Sarah Khan Bashir of SKB Law, you know, what we did with her was she created 5 wonderful audio episodes which helped her audience solve a particular problem. In each one of those episodes, we stitched in a voice message from one of her happy clients. Her audience, who are listening to that, they have already started working with Sarah before they've even picked up the phone or sent her an email. That is the power of audio and listening rather than just reading text. Anyway, there's so much more I want to talk about in terms of law firms and podcasting. Remember, I'm here if you want to have a power hour, if you need an editor, if you want somebody to talk your ideas through. Maybe you need somebody to do all the heavy lifting for you, or just a particular problem that you need solving. Please give me a call, send me a message on LinkedIn. My name's Mike Roberts from Making Digital Real. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll speak to you soon. All right, have a good one, and I'm sure there'll be a part 2 of this coming up when I've got more ideas for you. See you later, everyone.
Hi Mike, I just wanted to say a big thank you for helping me with the launch of Trees in the Pods podcast. So we're 2 episodes in, and already someone that came through to me as a new lead said that they'd found me via the podcast, which, to be honest, I wasn't really expecting this quickly, but yeah, I'll take that. I'm happy for that. Looking forward to carrying on with the podcast and getting our next guest on. Speak soon. Bye.